Okay, so I know that people want to know what to use their stamina on. It is a very, very important thing, right? To actually know what to use your stamina on, and it could definitely make or break the beginning, at least the first couple of days. So I just want to quickly go over where to mainly get stamina from, and then we're going to actually talk about the rest. So, place number one, obviously, is collecting your income. The more you increase your rank, the more you're gonna get stuff per like minutes, all depending. So yeah, you could get some stamina here. I just got 22. Now, others is from login. You're gonna get some from login every once in a while. Every like what 4, 6, 9, 11, and 13. You're gonna get some. Then obviously from events, you're gonna get some sometimes, but not all the time. But in JP, they give 200 stamina, but not here. Maybe they'll update that in the future. Then the other place would be for mage pieces. You could get a good amount every day of 400 plus 320, so 720 total. If you trade in SR shard dupes and then rare shard dupes, you could get about 720 stamina a day from that. Now, if I'm in the guild, I would be able to show you, but I'm not because Anto hasn't accepted me. But you're able to get 300 stamina every day from every week, sorry, from completing the missions, getting the coins, and then trading it in the individual shop. Then obviously you're able to buy stamina, but I only recommend at max buying the first one and second one if you're like someone who spends at least a little bit. But I wouldn't recommend really going more than that, right? So overall, you're gonna get a lot of boxes over time, and you're gonna get the daily login where it's gonna give you the 50 stamina box. So things like that are gonna give you stamina, right? All that stuff, all that good stuff. So with that stamina, what exactly do you do? How should you start your account, and should you be doing gear? Should you be leveling up? What should you be doing? So my first thing is obviously push story a bit, and then once you kind of gotten them like to SSR, all that, my first recommendation is really to first get them to UR before doing anything. So you want to get them at minimum to 60, and then go on to getting them to UR. Now, of course, this is going to require you to do a bit of patrol stages to be able to get them, first of all, to UR, and I recommend usually going to the first world to actually do these patrol stages. Now, patrol stages, why I'm saying this is because they give much more bond XP, and you need to get to bond level 4 to get them to UR. So you can see on top how much it gives per stage, per run. And then after, once they are UR, I'd say this is when you start dabbling in a bit of different things. But I do want to say, you want to make sure that you don't spread your resources too thin, no matter what, and you want to build a max of like 6 units. For now, I'm going to be targeting Charlotte, Asta, Lotus, Charmy, Yami, and Mars. Now, the 4 blues are the ones I'm building the most, because I want to push gear as fast as possible, especially since I lost almost a full 24 hours of progressing because of the fact that the bug hit me and I couldn't get out of the dispatch system area. So it kind of sucked, but because of tutorial, I was like stuck permanently in there. So I got to catch back up. So technically I'm still on like, I'm day 2, but like kind of day 1 in a way because of how much time I lost. So yeah, you want to build from like 6 to maybe 7 units max if you really need 7. But obviously your main 4, just prioritize those first. And then get that team to about 70, maybe 80, but I'd recommend farming in obviously the XP stage as high as you can to 70 for the UR units, okay? Then from that point, you're going to start farming the gear. Now that your units are high enough, I'd say you're entering a point where like the gear you're farming isn't worthless, and you should be able to farm about 9. I'd say if you're getting them to level 70, like you should be able to get to around this area. I mean, you should be able to get on URs. And if not, you could do a bit of SSRs. Equip the SSR gears that you just got from doing the patrol right while pushing story. Make sure you're pushing story all the time. And then you're going to start UR gear. It should not be that hard on global, at least. Okay. Now, once you did this, you're going to be starting. This is your starting point for farming gear, right? Now, once you've started farming gear, once you've started getting SSRs and URs, then you're going to start farming patrol stages to get them LR, well, not slowly, but at the same time as other stuff while continuing story. Because obviously when you have patrol, well, not patrol, when you have dispatch up, you're still, let me show you. So when you have dispatch up, right, you go here, you have to be above CC requirements, which is very unlucky, but let's go here, right? If you're above the CC requirements, you do patrol, then I'm still able to do story, right? So that is the way you're going to be doing it. You're going to be farming your stuff, farming your stamina, keeping at least a bit for story because story does take stamina, and then going on with your gear. Now from this point you are going to continue, because getting from 4 to 10 patrol bond level 10 is quite rough. But you are going to get a lot of bond food, so if you want to like kind of disperse it between everyone, I would recommend doing that. That's what I did. Well, I mainly use it on Mars and Yami because I thought they would be the ones who would benefit the most from the stats. You want to mainly focus, if you're really using the bond gifts, I guess, focus on either the DPS or the tank, because those are the two that matter the most for killing and or tanking, right? Now, from this point on, once you're starting patrol, just go back and forth between patrol and gear. Just get your bond levels up. Then maybe level them up also if you want to increase their levels because they're not killing fast enough or something like that. Or if you want to push a bit further, then you can do a bit of XP, right? And then go to gear. So like go back and forth, maybe use half-half on gear and patrol so that you could get them up to bond level 10. And then obviously once they're LR, you're mainly doing only gear and XP. But I'd like to say just try to get them to like 90 for XP and then go more to gear, because once they're LR, those stats, like leveling up gives the most amount of stats for sure. So that's what you should be doing. And then from that point on, once your units are strong enough to beat the LR stages, which it doesn't even need to be the full one, but the level 15, but to be fair, 15 sometimes is easier than actually beating 13. So that is something you guys should consider. Definitely consider that. But obviously at that point, it's just dabbling a bit in everywhere. At this point, right, once you've gotten enough units up. But if you need to build more units up, then just do that same thing again and just get XP, patrol stage, and make sure you're doing 4 new units. Make sure that if they're already 10 for now, don't work on them anymore. Just keep them at 10 and work on other units. And then of course, once you get far enough into story to get talents, you could start doing this, especially if you're not beating LR stages. If you can't get to that point, then just farm talents. Of course, anything to beat the LR gear stages as quick as possible is definitely the best. But the main thing that's going to help is going to be the teams. I think by tonight, I should be able to get them all to LR and I should be able to beat them. Now, of course, I have spent. So for me, it's a bit quicker. And obviously, I have better units. But to be fair, you should be able to have 2 of these units minimum. And then Mars could be Soul, and to me, that doesn't really change much. And then Yami, obviously, him being, let's say, solid, would change some decent things. But I'd say by like day 3 to 5, you should easily be able. I saw Vulcan, free to play, by the way, was able to get it this morning to beat LR gear. So it's not really hard. And me being pay to win doesn't really change much, especially because of how much time I lost on this game. So definitely that. And then from this point, you just continue story, right? You get talents, you do whatever you want from this point, whatever you feel would help you get up quicker. Of course, the XP in early stages or early Black Clover is very rough. So being able to get up in there is going to be very important. And of course, I'm pretty sure at some points you won't be able to progress in story, which I think is the part I'm about to get to that many people have struggled with, is the Rhodes thing. When I was streaming this morning, I had everyone saying like, I can't be Rhodes, what do I do? And I think that at that point, you just grind other stuff. You wait for story and you grind other stuff. But that is the end of this video. I don't really have much more to say. You want to make sure you dabble back and forth, but I think leveling up first and then doing gear and then dabbling back and forth between those two is definitely the way to go. And it's the way I've went. I have some gear, but it's mainly because, well, now I'm starting to farm because I do need to get them up a bit. But yeah, once I farm patrol a bit more, I'm going to be able to get these 2 up to LR, which is pretty cool. And then by that point, I should be able to easily get LR gear. But yeah, Mars and Yami already at 36k CC. We're looking pretty good. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.